And we're live, apparently. No, we're not live anywhere.
Sorry.
Tom freaked out.
Well, we're recording though, right?
There we go.
There we go.
There we
I
go.
am sorry.
There we go. That's better. All right.
I am very impulsive.
No, it's fine.
And now I have anxiety. Now I can't wait. We ready?
It's a good thing this isn't live streaming to the world.
Well, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back to the Apartment A3 podcast. It is January 1st, 2019.
12:08 p.m.
Yeah, no, you said 12:08 p.m. I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? It's still light outside. Because
Yes.
I'm an idiot, and that's how noon works.
Yes. It took me a minute to realize that what the difference is between AM and PM. I still have a hard time.
A minute worth of 30 years worth of minutes to figure that out.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get this out. Okay, here we go.
So how's everybody doing? How was your New Year? How was your celebration? How was your Christmas? How were the kids? How's the house? How are the cats? I don't really care so much about the cats. I know that's
How's the
mean.
cats?
I don't really care so much about the cats. Dogs. Hey, how are the dogs? Dogs are good? Gerbils? All right, fine. If I care about gerbil, I don't care about gerbils. But if I cared about gerbils, I'd have to care about cats. Is that, right?
Yeah.
Just, equal opportunity, pet, whatever situation. Maybe.
Animals in general.
Yeah.
Aside from the ones we eat. I mean, I still love those too. Because,
Right. Because they're delicious. But
And they're,
nutritious.
yeah. Yeah. But yeah, well, I had a very, very nice Christmas and a very nice New Year's. We had these,
That's the most mellow, like, it was pretty good.
It was
all right.
nice. It was, I don't know,
was
30
good.
years worth, I guess.
Yeah. Would you imagine, real quick, if every year you got older, like each Christmas you were at, like there was that many more presents, but if it was exponential? So like, so when you're one, you get one gift, right? And then when you're two, you get three gifts because you get one and then the two for that. And then when you're three, you get 6 gifts because you're 3, 2, and 1, and then it went like that all the way down.
Oh, I was figuring that like this year or next year for Christmas I would be getting like 31 Christmas
No,
gifts.
but I'm saying it's exponential of that, the exponent.
Oh,
So
I'm
like,
okay with either or, but specifically your way.
But in that concept, if I were to turn 40, whatever the exponent is for that, it'd be 1 plus the 3 plus the 6. You know what I mean? Going all the way down the line. That would be
Sort of.
insane.
I can't really add though. Whoa, shit.
But you get what I'm saying, though.
I do.
All right.
That'd be kind of
So
sweet.
then
though.
4 would be 6, and 4 would be 10 when you turn 4, and then when you turn 5, it would be 15. Do you get it? All right, quick math lesson. All right. You turn 1, you get 1, right? When you turn 2, you get 3. You get 1 for being 1, and then 2, right? And so then when you turn 3, you get 3 for being 3, but you get the 1 and the 2, so that's 6.
Okay.
When you turn 4, it's 6 and 4, that's 10. When you turn 5, you add the 5 to the 10 that's already there, that's 15. 15 gifts by the time you're 5.
So you get 20 by the next year?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, no. It would be, so when you turn 6, it would be 15 and 6 would be 21.
Always one off. Oh, I was always one off with math.
Right.
It's so weird.
But
Very weird.
At least it's consistent. So anyway, you were saying it was very nice.
Yeah, it was a nice time. I don't know how, they're like these cookies that are like gourmet cookies that are half like dipped in chocolate. And I was like, oh, they look like graham crackers, but they're not. And I was like, oh, this is kind of sweet. I was like, these would be like the ultimate s'mores. And then maybe about 2 hours later, my mom and my daughter went to the store to go get some like snacks and like wine and shit like that. And Cece came back and she's like, Dad, I got marshmallows. We can make s'mores with these cookies, with the same cookies that I was talking about. It was like super funny.
Oh,
so
is it like a graham cracker cookie that's dipped in chocolate?
Sort of. It's like half of it is dipped in chocolate, but it's the flat way. So like the one top is normal graham cracker and the other side is chocolate. So you just take the two of them and
You mean like what grasshoppers or whatever? Keebler cookies? The Keebler elf jams?
Yes.
Right, yeah.
And they were great s'mores, and that's what we did last night.
Huh.
It was pretty fun.
Next level s'mores. Not poor man s'mores. Next level s'mores. Next
s'mores.
level desserts. So, as it is, I will make this segue immediately. January 1st, 2019. What are some of your New Year's resolutions? One of mine, a big one, is to stop eating all the sugar and garbage that I eat all the time. That's going to be really difficult, but I'm gonna do my damnedest.
I think you could do it.
I already failed one of my New Year's resolutions today inadvertently. It already happened, but it's okay. It's okay. I'm taking note. I'm making myself aware of the fact that I impulsively do certain things, and I'm going to try to be more mindful.
Yeah. I guess
being mindful is the thing, right? Being mindful, being engaged, being aware. You don't know. He's shaking his head now.
Just plowing through it, I guess. Just making sure, just be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not doing it.
It's like I need to be more I'm self-aware enough physically, I guess, but some of my impulses or just habits are definitely things that I just do all the time.
Yeah.
Without thinking about it. It's the ritual, right?
Yeah.
It's the ritual of whatever it is, insert here. If it's however you get into your car, you probably do it exactly the same time.
That's
99 times out of 100.
It's not even the feeling of doing whatever it is that you're trying to stop. It's the feeling of the ritual, the in between. That
there's a comfort in the routine that happens.
So weird. Yeah,
that just becomes like, well, yeah, I just do this. Like when I come home, I put my keys on this hook and my shoes go on this spot on the floor. That's fine. But then it's like, all right, and then I immediately open the fridge and what cheese do I have? I eat half of it, kind of thing. Just every day I come home, I eat some cheese. I'm like, really? That sounds like a bad thing for your digestive system.
Yeah, that's why I got the fucking bagel with no cheese.
You got no cheese today.
It's just egg and plain bagel.
No, and I say about trying to cut out sugar and stuff, right? Knowing this going into yesterday, and yet I still bought a box of ice cream sandwiches when I went to Wegmans yesterday and ate 3 of them last night.
That's really good.
And fell asleep before the ball dropped, which was fine because today is still the day. It still happened.
I ate 2 donuts before we started this.
There was their Timbits, weren't they?
No.
Oh, you bought whole donuts?
Yes, but I was contemplating 4 of them, but I stopped myself.
Not only did he cut himself back, but Tom worked out hardcore yesterday, did like 173 squats.
No, not 173.
It was 120 something.
No, I don't remember what number I stopped at, but
You showed me your phone. It was like 107, but you said you hit the back button by accident.
A few times.
Like,
yeah,
you said like 15.
I thought I had to... That was the way to reset it. I didn't realize, and I was like sitting there. I was like, "Oh my god, I gotta sit here and fucking reset this thing." And then I realized that I could just push a button.
But if you went back about 15 and you had 107, that means around 120 something.
But that's part of the New Year's resolution thing, though. Is like, I was kind of thinking about this when you asked me yesterday about coming out. I didn't have any New Year's resolutions. They all kind of just happened.
I didn't either. Because I always find it so contrived. It's like, well, what are your New Year's resolutions? It's like, well, I'm going to stop being so fat, and I'm going to work out, and I'm going to read more. And like all the same shit you tell yourself all year round you're going to do.
Funny. I had read more. If I was like, well, if I were to give somebody else, I was like, try and read more, just 10 minutes a day. And literally 10 minutes a day for anything is like the key.
Yeah.
And it's just really fun. I don't know. But starting with this podcast was it just kind of... I didn't really have a routine all of a sudden. And we started doing this podcast, and then I started listening to podcasts and other podcasts and hearing other people, hearing their stories and shit. And I was like, you know what? I was like, this working with Nick right now is so sick. I was like, fuck this. I'm just going to just start right now. And this was however many months ago we started this pod. Maybe...
two or 3 months now, I think altogether, that it's been the
However,
2 of us.
That's kind of, for me, that's what, I don't know. That's just how, I was, relating to my New Year's resolutions. I was like, it just kind of all started. In the summertime, I was, working out, and I just, stopped for personal reasons and shit.
Same.
Weird.
Same,
and,
yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it just snapped, and I've just been already kind of doing it. I have been reading more. I have been working out and eating healthier. The cigarettes have definitely cut down. That's part of the routine. I just realized today, I didn't do it yesterday, but today I really missed that routine. I'd wake up as early as I can, smash a big ass glass of water, do the fucking leg planks and stuff like that, and then I'd go make coffee and smoke a cig. But then yesterday I didn't have a cig, so today I was like, I'm gonna fucking smoke a cig. I missed it. I just missed it, so I just smoked a cigarette.
Yeah,
I was a little bummed, but
I didn't judge too hard, but the thing is, I think the idea behind New Year's resolutions is, okay, it's the start of a new year. So here's a marker. Here's a point in time where we go, all right, all the things that you've been kind of fucking off on all year, or that you've been kind of dodging, or going, I don't wanna, or I can do it tomorrow. You can always work out tomorrow. You can always work out tomorrow means you never do. It's just supposed to be, I guess, and it's obviously it's not a steadfast thing, but it's sort of just a, hey, you know what? If there's, now's as good a time as any. You're at the start of this new year. New year, new me, hashtag whatever, same bullshit. People say it every year. I've said the same things, officially or unofficially for the last 10 years at least, 10, 15 years, where it's just like, I'm going to eat better, I'm going to work out, I'm going to read more, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and all these positive things that if you just integrated those 10, 15, 20 minutes a day, if you could, in your life, or even,
absolutely,
a half hour a few times a week, even, working out, read, whatever it is, just to kind of be better with my time. I waste a lot of my time.
Like with anything, like if you take photos, just take a photo for 10 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Just like walk around your house or something. I don't know.
Well, in that same respect, it's like with writers and comedy writers in particular, because again, that's what I sort of focus with. But they'll sit down, they'll block out every day for an hour, and from this time to this time, I'm in this space and I write. Whatever it is, I write in that time. I just write. Whatever I write. If it's something that is an idea that I've had that I've been working on, or if it's something that just came to me, or if it's nothing at all, I'm still putting pen to paper or computer, however you do it, within that hour. And Jerry Seinfeld, I think he does that an hour or two a day. I know that, I think it was Oprah that said, you have to, for yourself, do this one thing, whatever that thing is, for just an hour a day, but you have to do that for yourself. But the two of them also do TM, Transcendental Meditation. Are you familiar?
Sort of.
That's where the thing I was saying before about being mindful. It's it's a meditative state that you can get into. It's not necessarily like legs crossed, palms up with the fingers oming, but you can if you want to. But it's about stillness. It's about I think the name of the book is The Power of Stillness. I have it out in the living room. It's with the other ones that I haven't finished. It's with the other motivational books that I'm halfway through. I'm going to get David Goggins' book soon too. That Can't Hurt Me book that he just put out. Positive mental attitude. Talk about a dude who's just a warrior.
Tank.
And we talked about him in detail recently.
Yeah.
Just taking those ideas and implementing them into your life is something that I think that it's sort of like, I think the concept behind, New Year's resolution. It's like, here's the marketing point where you can start. Anytime you can start, but what happens, right? So like with diet. Okay, well, when do you start a diet? Oh, well, there's always a holiday coming up. It's like, all right, well, Easter's coming up and we have a big meal. It's like, well, that's not that bad. Like, okay. But then, then you got till the summer. Like, well, the summer, there's barbecues and there's cookouts and there's concerts and there's this, and this. Like, all right, well, once the summer's over, it's like, all right, well, then Thanksgiving's coming up and,
Well, see,
and Halloween's got all the candy, and then Thanksgiving, and it's like, oh, well, now it's going to be Christmas and New Year's, so that's the holidays. So for like 2 weeks, you're completely off your diet. I'm like, there's an excuse all the time.
It's not an excuse though. That's the thing. That this is where I was just kind of If you stick to your guns and you work out every day and you do all that stuff, none of that stuff really matters. Dude.
Yeah, no, and that's true. But that's the excuse that people like myself tell ourselves to go, oh, well, this thing's coming up. Well, so until that day, until Thanksgiving Day, work out and eat right.
That's what I mean. Just work out, eat whatever. And they're like, you know what? Fuck it. I can't wait to eat all that damn Halloween candy because I do all this anyway. Like, you could do that. You just need to implement the working out.
When people say to me, you're still dieting? I'm like, I think that's a problem. I have a huge problem with this, and I think a lot of people do too. The concept of dieting versus what your diet is. Dieting is something that you do that eventually is not going to work anymore because you're either going to stop it or it's going to plateau and then you're going to yo-yo back and gain all that weight again because you're dieting. You're eating a specific diet for a predetermined amount of time usually. Diet is supposed to be what you eat on a regular basis, the kind of calories and foods you consume throughout your life. So it shouldn't be, and this is me from partially philosophical but also a bit of a more metaphysical, statement, again, based on all the things that I've heard and learned from different doctors and Rogan who have been on Joe Rogan's podcast in particular, where the exception to the rule should be, well, this month I went out and had a big bowl of pasta with some bread and a glass of wine for dinner. Like that's when Rogan, when he goes all out, that's what he does. He goes every once in a while, I'll cheat. I'll have a couple pieces of pizza. I'm like, I have 4 for a regular meal and then I go back again. You know what I mean? And this guy works out all the time, so he's crushing calories when he was doing Sober October this past October. There were days where he was burning 4,000 and 5,000 calories. He was eating everything.
That's crazy.
He was eating everything, but because he usually keeps keto, he keeps a ketogenic diet. He was like, I drink a cream soda. I'm like, did I drink a case of cream soda?
I don't even drink pop or anything like that anymore. I just
right, but the point is like his single cheat or I couldn't believe I ate some gummy bears. I'm like, and they weren't pot ones. I'm like, that's a big deal to you because you're just so vegetables and game meat. Like, and that's his world. And that's more what anybody should be eating than the normal typical average American diet. And that's what I have. I have like 3-4 grilled cheeses a week.
I should get into some big game meat.
Dude, I tried moose on Christmas Eve. It was so good.
Oh, that is probably awesome.
My cousin Tom, he has a friend, Dan. I think his friend Danny went hunting in Newfoundland. Newfoundland. Yeah, that one in Canada. Whatever. And shot a moose, and so he brought some and he cooked it on the grill, and it was fucking delicious.
Oh, that is so sick.
And I've said on the show, I want to try elk, I want to try moose. Yeah. I got moose checked off, and I really liked it. It was good.
Have you ever tried lamb?
Well, yeah.
I love lamb.
I worked in a Greek restaurant for 4 years. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah. I love lamb though.
If you looked at the moose steak though, like after it's just a nice sear on the outside, it's got that gorgeous red. It looks just like beef, but it's actually got more of a texture, kind of like pork. It's not in a chewy sense, but definitely like. You know what beef... when you bite into a steak, you know what that's like. We do that more than anything. We eat more beef than pork in this country, I'm sure. I would assume, anyway. And I know that I do.
That's probably neck and neck.
I guess it depends. If we're talking about like pork chops or pork roast and stuff. Bacon? Oh, yeah. Bacon, I out-eat everything in the world with bacon. That surpasses everything.
Bacon. I don't really eat pork.
But if you ever had like a really a nicely made pork chop... Or like a pork roast, that texture is more like what moose was like than steak, but it was really delicious. It was great.
I don't know.
So I'm super psyched. So now I got to figure out how to get my hands on some elk and some axis deer.
Oh no, elk! I need some refrigerate some elk.
Yeah, I need a giant
funny
freezer the size of the studio just to keep all the elk.
Yeah,
in.
right, dude. So maybe about 3 days ago. Maybe something like that. Did you see what happened to Instagram?
There was some kind of glitch with it or something?
Dude, it was not a glitch. Oh, this is why this is so funny to me, okay?
Now, are you talking about there was like
there was an update.
Right, okay. Everyone was bitching about it, but I didn't do the update, so I didn't see what it looked like.
I didn't even have to like do or okay anything, right? Okay, here's what happened. I'm on Instagram normal. I'm just normal, and I'm like, and I put my phone in my pocket. I went into the kitchen. I put my coffee into the microwave. Type 30 seconds, and then I just waited for that to finish. Whatever, I got it. I went back outside to finish smoking my bowl and shit. So I'm scrolling through Instagram. I open it as soon as I step back outside, and it's different. And I was like, "What the fuck happened? What's going on?"
They changed like the timeline structure or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was instead of scrolling up, you would just tap. It was like the story mode, and then it was like the comments were hidden, so you'd scroll up, and then the comments would show up behind like a white screen. So it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like it was alright. Well, I didn't understand it, but I thought my phone was messed up and lagging. I was like, oh shit. So I double clicked the home button and
where I saw that there was something that had happened with Instagram, the way it looked was on Twitter. I saw a bunch of people on Twitter, like Danny Lopriori and Joe Santagato. I think maybe even Rogan, maybe. Definitely those two guys were just like, "Yo, what the fuck did you do? Instagram, you screwed up." And then and then I saw a comment shortly later, like, "Oh, we fixed the issue. They launched it too early or whatever happened. But they went back quickly. It wasn't like they listened to the bitching. They went, oh shit."
That's what I mean. They released it for like the 30 seconds I wasn't using Instagram. And then I exited out of it, and then I opened it up back again, and it was normal. And I was like, oh, maybe my phone was messed up. And then I was like, well, that was weird. I was like, how did I couldn't figure it out. But I went on Instagram's Instagram account, and people were just like, no, F this.
I saw people on Twitter like complaining about it. And so then I saw responses after they said, oh, we corrected the problem. And they're just like, cool, now can you go back to doing chronological order for my storyline, you dumb shits? Like, they're like, while you're at it, can you fix this thing we've been bitching about for 3 years?
I didn't really. I thought something was wrong with my phone. That's all. But they hated it too, I guess. I wasn't the only one that was confused. It was really funny though.
So I didn't even see so that's the only explanation I've heard about what it looked like. I just heard, and so I'm like, well, I haven't seen that problem yet, so I'm not going to update. And I just put my phone away, and then later on, I saw that they were saying everything was back to normal. So, but I don't know, man. Don't if it ain't broke.
Don't fix it.
Don't rattle the tree or whatever the fucking saying is.
So, what's your best 2018 memory?
I mean, single individual memory. I don't know. I've had so many because of like, being alive.
Yeah.
But that was really stupid response.
You know what I was thinking about?
It was, mostly based around my kids. Was great. I don't know that I have a single instant, which, I mean, obviously the E-Tid show, of all the things for me to say right now, that was so fucking awesome, but it was really recent too. So it's still pretty fresh. Just how amazing how amazing that event was. But I mean, I don't know. I did a lot of cool shit this year. I mean, I went to Disney for like the 17th time. Witnessed my son's first birthday.
Oh yeah, true.
My daughter turned 19. I did a bunch of stuff and was part of the ending of a 4-year relationship. So that was kind of shitty, but I'm all right with that now. And I don't know, I've done a lot of stuff. I think that, really the pinnacle of this year has been starting this podcast. Oh, well, not this year, of 2018. The pinnacle, the biggest, thing that I really did, besides leave a desk job, which was one of the most satisfying things I've ever done. This is the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. And so as a concept of, what was the best thing to come out of 2018 for you, I would say it's this for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely probably this too. I've had some cool shit happen. Just played some drums mostly.
It's all on Instagram. You can go check it out. They fixed it, so you can see his story now. You can go back and look at his account.
Do you know what I was just thinking about though? You know what? I had the most fun ringing in the year 2000. Like that was
I don't even remember ringing in the year 2000.
Year 2000.
I remember that shit.
That's right. I remember when. Yeah, I remember the Nike commercial and shit, and all the missiles and everything were flying through.
Oh, because the computers were all supposed to fail because of Y2K and.
It was just so funny, like thinking about that. I remember we were at Fred Samato's house, and our cousin Charlie was like the family prankster or whatever. And as soon as midnight hit, he went in the basement with nobody realizing, and he hit all the.
He shut all the breakers off of the house.
Everybody was flipping out, and like, and it was just really fun. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
what an asshole! That's fucking genius.
But he got everybody. Dude.
That's really
he's
good.
always like that.
Just
like,
down the line, shuts everything off.
But
luckily no one's on life support, and he flips that switch.
But he got us, and it was that was just the most fun. I remember, like, I don't know, 1999 to year 2000.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in 99 was when Paige was born, so that was February, so, she wasn't even a year yet, so I don't...
It was just in the brink, getting rid of all those, like, Jenko jeans and stuff like that.
I still had them for a minute.
Yeah.
I did. I had them for a minute.
What else was crazy? What else was an insane year?
I don't know. 06, 07 with the Sabres, or was that 05, 06?
Oh, shit, I don't even want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
That was sad.
That was, I mean, man, that was as close as we ever got, I think, besides what in the 70s when we went to the Cup, but...
Well, no, not even that, dude. The Dallas Stars, that was bullshit.
Right. Never mind. That was 98. That was 98. No, it wasn't 98 because Paige was born, so that might have been 2000. I don't think it was 99. It might have been 99. Was that 99 when we went to the Cup and lost to Dallas, right?
The nogoal where how his foot was in the fucking thing. I cried. I remember being pissed about that.
Oh yeah. Well, do you know the story behind that?
Vaguely, I don't remember. I was like kind of on.
So it was in Dallas, but the NHL's hub, their main office, is in Toronto, and this is back before digital recording.
Yeah, I know that this started.
They ran out of tape. The tape ran out. So they didn't have any tape to go back to in that time to see that his foot was in the crease to check it in Toronto. So they just said, okay, it's a goal.
But they showed replays of it. Remember, his foot was
They were showing the replays from the feed locally that was broadcasting from the telecommunication company, whoever was the...
Why isn't that enough?
But the actual quote-unquote film, when it was still on tape, that they had to look at per their bylaws at home in Toronto, they ran out. And so they didn't have that footage, so they
shaking my
couldn't
head.
make a call on it. And that didn't come out till much later.
And
It
they
didn't
were
come
like-
out that was the case till much later.
I was under the impression that it was like overtime 8, and they were just like, you know what, fuck it, let's just go home. I was like,
It's about that because they didn't have the tape to go, okay, it wasn't. Or his foot was in the crease or whatever. Which is one of the reasons that those rules have changed since then, I think.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, because of that game.
100%.
So
But I was
it doesn't
pissed.
mean we would have turned around and scored the goal that would have won, but that wouldn't have been the winning goal for them had they reviewed it properly.
Hell no.
And they didn't have the tape to review.
That would have. I'm gonna put it into 2 cents here. I think that it would have been no goal, right? And that their adrenaline and all the tides would have changed, and the Sabres would have been pumped, and they would have fucking scored.
You would
I'm
think so.
so
I mean,
mad.
we'll never know.
I was pissed.
Yeah,
and
a lot of
then
people were.
the Hurricanes, and then the fucking Ottawa Senators.
Yeah.
That was a sad year.
I don't know. It was an exciting year.
It was an awesome.
I mean, this year was pretty exciting too. It's been fun to watch them.
Yeah.
They've been playing really well. I'm for the most part, for the first time since '94, when the Bills lost that 4th Super Bowl in a row.
Oh shit! I do not pay attention to the Bills.
Watching, I mean, because I work at a bar all day on Sundays.
Yeah.
Obviously the games are always on. Watching that team play with Josh Allen. That kid, his name is Josh, right?
Who knows?
Yeah. I should know. I talk to dudes all day long on Sundays about this kid. Josh Allen. Just rookie year, comes out and he's playing like a high school or no, like a college level quarterback who's got all the tricks up his sleeve. He had more rushing yards as a quarterback this year than any quarterback in the history of our franchise, and scored, I think, maybe more rushing touchdowns too than any quarterback. He had some crazy stats for a kid who was out for 4 or 5 weeks after he hurt his thumb. We ended up 6-10 on the season, but it was still so. It was like when that kid was in, it was there's a fire, and like I don't want to. I don't, you know what? I don't give a fuck if you call me a Fairweather fan. I am a Fairweather fan. I'm a Fairweather fan of all sports, because if they're not winning, then I'm okay. I have other things I could do.
Yeah, right.
But it's been really exciting to watch both these teams, even though they're not going to go on. But it was really just to watch him. There's just an energy to the fans, to the team now with this kid at the helm. It's like really impressive. He's going to be the starter next year for sure. And as long as they work him well, during the off season. And again, I'm talking about sports like I know what I'm talking about. I'm regurgitating shit that people have said 100 times already. I'm just excited to see what happens. Like I'm really, even if it's not a playoff year for us next year, I say us. Even if it's not a playoff year for the Bills next year, just watching
your team, bro.
Watching him play, it's exciting to watch this kid play. He's running like who was the one who was really wasn't it Michael Vick? He was really well known for rushing as a quarterback. Like he was really fast. Like a lot of quarterbacks aren't that quick. He's really fast. He's like, all right, I'm good. He finds the hole and he runs it, and he'll get 10, 20 yards sometimes.
That's so crazy.
Pickups. He's like I've seen him run in for at least a handful of touchdowns, maybe 3, and that's not something you see often. He's young and in good shape, and he isn't super injured from years of playing yet, so that he can do that stuff. He'll take those risks. What? No, he's not killing dogs.
Oh, he was.
No, I'm talking about Josh Allen.
You said Michael Vick at first.
Right, referencing how fast he was because he was a quarterback.
Okay, sorry, never mind.
Let me clarify. I was making reference.
Josh Allen doesn't kill dogs.
Right. I was making reference to Michael Vick as a player.
As a good running back dude who is a quarterback.
Wow. Okay, you know what? We're going to step away from this topic because Tom knows even less than I do. I don't know anything about football.
I don't care about football whatsoever, specifically because we have the Bills as our team. I've said this over and over again. Everybody can hate me. I'm sorry, but they need to burn down Ralph Wilson Stadium. Smash over it, build a forest, burn that forest down, and then build another forest over Ralph Wilson Stadium, and then their curse will go away, and then everything will be fine. And
That's pretty heavy, bro. That's real. That's intense. I don't know. I don't think that's the positive attitude that we were looking for this new year, Tom. We were trying to be all like upbeat and
I cannot stand the Bills. You put so much faith in the Bills, and they just.
So it's not a matter of you not caring. It's that you've been hurt too many times.
I can't stand it. I don't like.
He's been burned too many times.
I remember
kids.
being like a little kid and just loving the Bills, and they just kept losing, and it was just so hard, and
I mean, that's why I stopped watching.
Stopped caring about the Bills when I was a little kid. I
always just kind of went, I don't care about football. I always, wish them the best. Because from a selfish standpoint, when local sports teams do well, local bars and restaurants do well. And that's what I do. So when the Bills would win at home on a Sunday, especially this past Sunday,
you're right.
it was just me behind the bar and this girl who was serving. And she got a family emergency phone call around 3:30 and she had to leave. So it's just me taking care of the whole place. We weren't that busy. Then the Bills win in grand fashion over our oldest rival, the Dolphins, like 48-something ridiculous. And Kyle Williams retires. So that's his last game. It was just a big kind of thing all around. I'm like, I looked at the manager or the owner. I'm just like, we're going to get our asses kicked. And we did. Place was fucking nuts because and they just won, and then everyone migrates from the stadium and comes back to the city or wherever they live, and the place gets I bet you Pearl Street was crazy. I bet you 716 was probably nuts.
Lockhouse gets destroyed too.
Yeah, they just come back out.
They're not open on Sundays though.
Are they? Oh, they're not?
No.
Oh, they just want to come back and they
like on the Sabres games.
They want to keep the party going when the local teams do well, and when that team does well, the restaurants and bars and servers and bartenders and everybody else by that proxy do well as well. So it benefits me for the local teams to do well.
So if you're listening, Bills,
help my boy Nick out.
Why don't you
keep
do
doing
some work?
No, they when Josh was playing, so that I think that if I look back at the games, I think there was at least one or two maybe that they lost that he was QBing for out of the 10 that we lost for the season. But the other ones were Peterman and I think maybe somebody else too. I don't remember who else when he was out injured. So our record would have been likely a lot better had he been QBing the whole time.
Yeah.
Because he came in, kicked ass, then he got injured. While he was out, we lost all those games, I think. And then he came back and we did really, really well again. And I think it just, the quarterback is the linchpin of the whole team.
Yeah, we just need Tom Brady.
No. Don't you ever utter that shit in my house again.
That's so funny.
Don't you ever utter that shit in my house again.
A flat earth.
He's a flat earther. No, he's not.
Ha
Maybe he is. I don't know that he is or isn't. I might hate the guy, but I don't think he's dumb. You know what I mean?
You think he does some research on flat earth and stuff like that?
I don't think he wastes his time with that bullshit. He's trying to make the ball flat so that he can throw it easier or whatever.
Oh, check it out. Look at you. At least we talked about flat earth.
Got some Patriots fan going, you're bringing up that old ass bullshit. It's like, yeah, I am, because it's a fucking joke. Because I don't care. I have nothing vested in it, so it's fine.
Seriously.
But
can't stand football.
The season's not over just yet, but,
Don't like it.
It's just part of this. It's part of the fabric of, again, like working in restaurants, when it's, football season, we'll be usually busier wherever I am. And so when football ends, it's like, all right, what's up next? Baseball? Oh God, 12 hours of boring bullshit.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
Well, hockey too, though.
See, but I like hockey. I like the Sabres.
I love hockey.
It's the only jersey I've ever owned is a hockey jersey. I still have it.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a limited edition Champs Sporting Goods authenticated all black Ryan Miller jersey.
All black.
All black. I'll show it to you afterwards.
Word.
Maybe I'll make it the picture for the post for the podcast.
Oh, true.
It's fucking sick.
I got too excited. I was gonna for the post picture. Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
I was
going
going
footsie with me under the table.
No, I'm trying to rock. Hey. The Von. What is it? The. Fuck, what is it? What is the Blade Runner? That's another thing that's super, super funny.
Blade Runner,
the Harrison Ford film.
Yeah.
I was watching it for like Thanksgiving night because some of the books I've been reading is like they mention it a lot, and it's just so funny, dude. It takes place 2019.
Yeah.
It is so funny. That's just like, well, we don't walk around with naked women. I mean, to the extent of that, but
right.
she had like this crazy clear dress on, and
like all the android cyborgs and stuff that are supposed to look seamlessly like human beings and interact. Yeah,
I can't remember the name of the friggin'
Is it the guy you're talking about? Like
the Voidkampf machine.
The Voidkampf?
The Voidkampf machine. I wanted to use that for our post picture, but I couldn't help myself. I thought that was so funny. I was like, 2019.
Yeah.
Voidkampf.
So whenever you look back at stuff when we were kids, and it's like in the future. Oh, what was the Back to the Future? Back to the Future 2, and it's like
they were in 2018,
wasn't it?
I think it was 2015,
or maybe whatever it was. Like when he had like the jacket with the shrunk with the sleeves and like the actual hoverboard that went over the water and shit.
I think
wouldn't move over water. I don't know. You remember the movie?
Because I think it was 1985 to 1955 to 2015. I think it was.
Maybe that was it. Yeah, well, it's probably a few years ago now, which makes sense then, because it's like. Yeah, no, we don't have any of this shit. It's not.
No, we still don't have flying cars. They're still they have those like stupid like, you know what I think about when I think of flying cars? Those like idiot. How would you explain it?
I don't know.
It only works on water, and it's a tube
hovercraft.
It's not a hovercraft, but people stand up on it, and it uses water to propel out, and people shoot up. They stand.
It's like a jet hose that runs off of off of like a wave runner. There's always a wave runner or a jet ski nearby, and they hook it up to that, and that runs the engine, which forces the water through the thing.
And they stand up and they float. I feel like the closest thing they got. Although Elon Musk is probably legally by law not allowed to release some shit. We probably already have all of this stuff created.
But you know what? Probably not. Because what are
those things called? I'm sorry. Never mind. You finish what you were saying.
I don't know what it's called. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know what it's called. I don't think... Yeah, I don't... There would be no point in... If they had created a technology like that, or any technology that they're spending millions of dollars in research and development on to create, to hold on to it, unless it was really dangerous. So I doubt that, something as innocuous as, oh, it's a flying car. He was explaining that, I think I want to say when he was on Rogan, he was talking about it. He goes, in order to do that, the amount of noise, think about one of those little drones you could buy at Radio Shack doesn't exist anymore, but one of those little ones that's just like a toy one, right? Even with a camera on it, they're a few $100. Think about the noise that those make. Now imagine something the size of a car.
That's would be like
3,000. Exactly. It would be so loud. It would be so fucking... Now imagine enough to populate a city like LA. That's insane.
Yeah.
That makes zero sense. So why would we bother with that?
That's crazy.
It makes zero sense.
That is so
That
weird.
was his, and doing something like a maglev where you like magnetic levitation, then that has to be very specific, and then it's a set track. You're not changing lanes and shit.
What the fuck about Iron Man though? He's got a crazy ass.
That's completely fictional though.
I know, it's still. What is the point? I feel like there's drip feeding. They've got to have technology that we're not allowed to know.
I don't think so. There's and I'm not being dismissive because it's like, yeah, well, it's conspiracy theorists. It's like I just don't think so. There's so much other shit they could be spending this time and money on if they were doing something like that. I mean, let's try to cure cancer. All of it, They have, my man. I don't want to talk about it. They might kill us. Why can we not still... Why are we still... Okay, because I'm bitching about this because it's me. Why do we still have male pattern baldness?
What?
Baldness. Why do men still go bald?
Because we're stressed.
Oh, we invented a drug that can either reduce your loss of hair, possibly grow it back, or it won't do anything at all. In the meantime, side effects include impotence and extreme depression.
Oh, yeah, let me take a couple of those.
And once you start taking that, and it's possible, they're not 100% that those are the side effects. They don't affect everyone that way, but they're possible side effects. Once you start taking it, you have to take it for the rest of your life or your hair will fall out. On top of that, most people who get hair transplants where they'll have the strip taken from the back of their head and then plotted into the front, they also have to take Propecia in order to prevent their hair from falling out further.
I don't ever want to go within 10 feet of that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
And does it only work for your head, or is it all hair?
Yeah, as far as I know, it's just your head. It's a pill that you take. It's not even like a topical where you put it on a specific spot, like Rogaine, where you scrub it into your hair.
Yeah.
It's an actual, like a pill that you take.
Crazy.
It's a daily medication. And my brother has been taking it for years. He was, for a long time, he was really thinned out. I mean, he was in his early 20s. He was still in college, and he decided to do it because he's a teacher, and he's already looks kind of young, and he wanted to have the appearance of more, of an authoritarian, not in a negative way, but like I'm a teacher at this school. Yeah. When the parents come in, I want them to take me seriously. I want my students to take me seriously. If I'm that young and I'm going bald like that, he just, that was his position on it, at least when we spoke about it. So he's been taking it for years, and he had a lot of growth back.
Oh, that's sweet though.
Probably like 50% or more.
Don't they make
grew
like
back.
Shampoo, sort of, kind of?
Well, that's what I was saying with Rogaine, but that's topical, and it doesn't always necessarily work. But I think it's way less. I think it has less potential side effects than Propecia. But here we are still, they were talking about working with cadaver donors, I don't know, 10 years ago. And I said, let me know when you figure that shit out.
Cadaver donors? What?
Well, when a person dies, they donate their retinas, their eyes, their heart, their lungs, their shit, that kind of stuff. Well, same idea.
Okay.
He's donating his head of hair, and then someone will graft it into your skull for you.
Well, that's awfully nice of you to do something like that.
I feel like it can't be that difficult to isolate whatever it is that causes the loss of hair.
I'm pretty sure for me, if I were to be, it's being stressed and wearing too many hats all the time.
Well, I don't know, that factors into hair loss, but I don't think that factors into male pattern baldness, which is different. And I feel like it's got to be something that you could just you should be able to isolate. I think that I read that it has something to do with levels of testosterone, but I don't know if it's too much testosterone or not enough. I haven't been tested for my T level, but I'm pretty sure it's actually probably on the lower side because I don't work out and I don't eat great, and I'm getting older. But if it was a lower level of testosterone, wouldn't I have more hair? But if I flip it around and take testosterone,
yeah, right,
which will actually,
I have no idea.
Medically, if I do that, I'll have more energy. And if I start working out and stuff and reverse the damage I've done to my body through diet and lack of exercise, I could actually potentially live longer. But am I still going to lose my hair anyway? Are those things even connected? I don't know.
Who knows?
I have no Somebody idea somewhere has to fucking know. I would be. When you say, oh, they must have all this technology. When there's all these dudes out there who have these billions of dollars. Let's take, I don't know, Captain Cheeto Face. He is a billionaire, right? That's a shitload of money. His hair is a fucking joke.
Captain who?
Cheeto Face.
Cheeto Face. I don't know who that is.
Masturbator and Commander?
No, I'm sorry.
The President of the United States of America?
Oh, Cheeto Face. Okay.
Wow. All right, Tom. So
I don't know. I didn't know people called him that.
Way to throw me under the bus on that. You would think that somebody is, and he definitely, you can tell there's a huge level of vanity to that guy. He is so vain and his hair looks the way that it does, but there was an option where he could go, yeah, here's $5 million. Fix this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Don't you think he would do it?
He totally has done it.
He hasn't done it? What do you mean?
Have you seen that guy's hair?
Yeah, the swoop, the loop, swoop, and pole situation up top. The way that he just.
It's because it's definitely because.
No.
I honestly think Rogan talked about this.
How he's talked about that's come up a bunch of times. He has a tendency, just like myself, to repeat himself.
Dude, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I saw this post the other day. I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, of all of the movies, the gnarly movies that we're trying to effing see in 2019. And I can't find it now. I wanted to talk about it with you so bad, and now I cannot fucking find it.
Was it on Instagram probably?
Yes, it was on Instagram. It was a movie poster thing. It had like the Avengers the Avengers release date. Did you see that new one yet?
No, I'm still behind in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Never mind. I don't want to talk about anything then until you see it all.
I'm a bad comic book fan. I have not seen Infinity War. I have not seen Spider-Man Homecoming. I have not seen Black Panther. I'm a real bastard, apparently.
You have a lot to do, my friend.
Yeah, I think I have them all. I just haven't watched them.
Do you have your phone with you?
Yeah.
Do you use your computer for stuff, or do you like?
What do you mean?
Have your
What are you saying about?
Like to watch movies?
I mean, sometimes if anything, I'll I don't really. I mean, sometimes I'll watch like Netflix on it if I'm I don't know, somewhere where, I don't know. Not, I mean, kind of. I know that I can. What did you send me here? Okay. Oh, okay. I'm like, why is that missing all your messages? That's an iMessage.
Oh, yes.
Dude, I don't know. Apple needs they need to get their shit together.
I'm all about it, though. The Apple products for now, I guess. I've been rocking out on an iPhone since they came out.
Same. And honestly, I probably won't switch to.
Nope,
I look at other
not.
devices and go, how the fuck does this work? What is
I know,
this?
right? But did you get an iPhone, like the very, very first iPhone?
No, I got the 3GS, so I got the third generation.
Oh, shit. Dude, we were on Warped Tour when that first iPhone came out, and we were lucky enough we had a friend who worked at the Apple store.
Yeah.
And we were going to be in San Francisco the day it came out. And we sent him cash, and he went to the store.
They put cash into an envelope, ladies and gentlemen, and mailed it through the U.S. mail. Something everyone tells you not to do.
He came out with us. He toured with us for a little bit, but the phone came out that day, and their friend was like, "Can we get in this show?" We're like, "Yeah, sure, fuck yeah!" And they came and they brought us iPhones, and it was like the day it came out. And I was thinking about this the other day that I have been typing on an iPhone on every single pretty much iPhone ever.
Yeah, I haven't had all of the series,
all of them,
but I mean, I've only ever since the first one that I got like 10 years ago. That's all I've used, and I honestly won't. As much as I go, I don't like this update's stupid or this thing's it doesn't matter. I won't switch.
I won't do it.
And
either.
I think they count on that, which is why the new MacBooks are like, oh, they're super thin, and they're crazy thin, and the keyboard sucks, and everything is that Thunderbolt C port or whatever, that USB-C port, rather than you got rid of the MagSafe power connector. I don't even care that you got rid of the ROM drives. Nobody really uses those anymore anyway.
I did. I like those.
The DVD ROM drives? Yeah, but you can get us an external one that runs off USB for like $90.
Oh, yeah, you can only go get one for $90. Why can't I just fucking have it installed on the
Because
computer?
instead you have more memory and stuff in your computer.
Well, yeah, I guess.
And with my mid 2011, my ROM drive, I hardly ever use it. There's a hack out there to put another hard drive in there instead. I could just do that. I don't know that I need it though.
Fair enough.
Because the internal in there, I upgraded to a terabyte SSD.
I went from a Sidekick. I had the Sidekick 2, and then the Sidekick 3 came out.
Oh, I never had anything that cool.
Dude, that shit was so awesome.
I had the LG Shine. That was that glassy one that was a slider phone that just slid up a little bit with that weird-ass little keyboard.
I remember that.
I had that. LG Shine was like the most boss phone that I had. And then I got an iPhone.
Yeah.
And then that's been it.
I've
actually only had 3. I had the 3GS, the 5, and the SE. That's all I've actually had. I keep them for a while. I don't drop them. I've only broken a screen once on the 3G. I slammed it on my nightstand. I think
I need to get a new phone.
Got into a fight and went, fuck you, and slammed it. I'm like, oh, all right, great. No, you're a dumbass.
I need to get a new phone. My hands are so little, and that phone is so big. I just fumble it all the time. It just sucks.
Well, the only option you have is that a plus?
Yeah.
Oh, it is a plus? Okay,
yeah.
so like a standard would be fine for you. The SE.
The problem is the 6 Plus has, or is it the 6S Plus? I don't know. Whatever plus phone it is, it has the portrait mode camera, and I love that thing.
Well, all the new ones do.
Not the small ones. Not the iPhone 6.
Well, no, dude, 6, 7, 8. We're on to 10 now. I mean,
really?
That's what the X is.
I thought we were like 7.
No, the 8 is still out. But remember last year they released the 8, and they were 2 years ago now, I guess. Well, two releases ago, so year and change. They released the 8, and at the same time they released the X, the 10.
I might as well just wait until the 15 comes out.
So the 10S came out this year, and I thought, oh, cool. That means the 10 will go down in price. Nope, it's like the same price. Difference of I think it's like difference of like $1 or $2 a month to go with that. So I might as well go with the 10S because the R is cool. Because it's less expensive, but it has less RAM. All the phones have the same amount of RAM. I want to say it's 4 gigs, but the R only has 3. And there's something else too, I think that's a little bit different that makes it they use to make it cheaper. It doesn't have the 2 cameras like the S does. Which is what I think I'll be switching to. Maybe, hopefully, we'll see. To hopefully use to film future episodes. Broadcast live. I'm still reticent on that. I'm still hesitant.
Well, we just got to keep doing it. The more we do it.
Yeah, I know. My mentality is this. Nobody needs to see this planet sitting in a desk chair.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, well, that's part, you know what? I would say that one of my resolutions for New Year's was to stop self-deprecating, but I'm so good at it, I just think I'm going to keep going with it.
Well, it's still going to be hard. It's going to be a hard trek, but you can't stop.
Right, it's true, but it gets a lot of laughs, and that's part of the reason I'm so good at it. So it's like with comedy, right? You get really good at delivering specific jokes. When you hone them down, you go out and you do them and do them and do them, and you figure out what the best spot is.
Yeah.
I tell the same jokes about myself all the time to different groups of people until I know where I've got it locked down. That'll probably be my first set when I finally go to do stand-up, and then I can never do self-deprecating comedy after that again because I've done all of my material.
I would love to be a stand-up comedian. I don't know how to go about it, though.
It's the amount of effort that's required, I think, is what scares me away from doing it.
Yeah.
It's that and just the knowing that you're going to fail and that you need to go out and fail. You need to go. You learn more and you are better served by a set where you eat a bag of dicks than one where you kill the room. It's serious. I mean, Rogan has said that, and Segura, all of them have said the same thing. You are better served by just eating a giant plate of shit than you are by killing all the time, because then it's unrealistic. And then playing to your crowd, like they didn't name names. I can think of who they're probably talking about, but specific comedians now who are huge, they'll play only larger venues, and it's definitely only to their fans.
Yeah.
So their fans are willing to give them the benefit of a doubt on a joke. They're going to laugh a little bit harder at something than it really might necessarily warrant if it were just a group of comedy fans in general.
Yeah.
And it kind of doesn't give them an accurate...
Because they're a fan, you know? Like...
Right, exactly. Like when I go see somebody that I'm a huge fan of, I'm already a fan of you, so chances are I'm going to laugh harder at something that you said than somebody who doesn't know who you are but might be a comedy fan. And I know that going in, but I don't try to dial it back to be like, well, I'm going to try and be... Because it's then it defeats the purpose for me. I already love seeing you.
Yeah.
So to see you in person is like, holy shit. I love when I see somebody and they surprise me. Steve Ranazizi, I've seen him twice now from the league, and I don't know if he's done any other TV, but he was on the league and he's stand-up, and I've seen him twice at Helium, and he was great both times. And then when I saw the Sklar brothers, do you know who they are? Mm-mm. I think I've talked about this before with you.
Are they twins?
Yeah, they're twins. One wears glasses, one doesn't. Neither of them really need it anymore. I think they both had LASIK or something, but...
Are they on It's Always Sunny?
Yes, they were the DJs.
The Q Crew.
Yeah, the Q Crew. Those guys. Yes,
okay.
those dudes. So they're really good.
Hashtag Q Crew.
Right. They're identical twins, and they are just in such lockstep with each other, having performed together for so long. They finish each other's sentences, even if it's something they haven't rehearsed, because they just know what the timing, the pacing, and they're really funny.
That is so
and I saw them in Helium, and they were fantastic. So I just I saw Dean Del Rey there too, and Dean's in his, I want to say, like early-ish 50s. He didn't start comedy until really, really late. Like maybe only a few years ago, I guess. And most people come in when they're at 7, 8 years. It's like, oh, okay, you're finally kind of getting there. This guy's been doing it for a few years, and he's really good. He's really, really good. And so it's the fact that he's like an example to me of, all right, here's a guy who got into the game late, and he's successful, and he's good because he's funny. If I'm not funny, then I'm just wasting everybody's time. But he was able to do it. And my thing is, all right, I'm going to be 40 this year. We are officially in the year where I'm going to be 40. In 6 months, give or take from now, I'm going to be 40 years old. It's like, do I really want to embark on this endeavor at this age, knowing it's going to take 10 years before I make any real ground? First. Second, I'm pretty sure he's not married, and I'm 90% positive he doesn't have any kids. So what did he have to lose? When you're young and a comic, you can afford to be poor. I mean, it sucks, but you can afford to be poor. When you're older and you have responsibilities, it's like taking that unpaid internship like I talked before. Like, oh yeah, I'll go back, I'll finish my bachelor's degree. I'll finish that by 43. Then I'll go and do an unpaid internship. as a dad with like a kid who by that time Paige will be out of college herself. Like I'm going to do that. I can't do that. Not only is it unrealistic, it's irresponsible.
Yeah.
On my end, it's irresponsible.
Well, if you can just like write down skits from here and there, and
well, so that kind of one of the things I wanted to do was maybe put together just 5 minutes.
That's what I mean. I would love to do that. I don't know how though.
I love when we do this, right? And I watch the counter, I watch the clock, and go, wait, we've only been talking for 3 minutes. We talked about 30 different things. Not right now. We're actually almost at an hour. But when I watch that, I just go, all right, we talked about 4 or 5 things, and it's only been 3 minutes. So to put together even like a 20, 25 minute set, that's a lot of material to cover. But at the same time, I've watched so many specials that are all around an hour 10 or whatever. I remember them almost all the way through, especially when I'm watching them. I know what's coming next. And it's all these different comedians. I remember enough of their material to kind of piece their hour together. Maybe not the exact pacing and timing, but close enough. Well, if I can do that with somebody else's shit, shouldn't in theory I be able to do that with my stuff for a shorter amount of time?
Yeah, totally.
More confidently? There's open mics in Buffalo. I don't know if they still do, but on Wednesdays they used to do one at Milky's. It was an open mic it was like an open mic comedy night. And I think from time to time they have them over at Helium too. And I know there's Rob's Comedy Playhouse in Williamsville. I think maybe they do it out there, but I'm not positive. So there are, there's a couple venues that are a potential, but I don't know. Then the pussy in me comes out. It's like, oh, I don't know. My performance anxiety. Man, when I was young, back in the Never Too Late days, I was never nervous before a show. Not once. Now, I mean, because we're on a mic and I'm across the table from you, I have no reason to be nervous. You're one of my closest friends in the world. We've known each other for a long time. But in front of a crowd, then it's like, what starts going through your head is, oh man, I look really fat in this. Oh shit. I should have got my hair cut first. This looks bad. Like just the physical presentation of what you're doing for me starts to overtake in that moment what I should be saying. And then it bleeds into my brain and fucks up my timing on things. On 3 separate occasions, is it 3? Gary and Fat Kid. Maybe it's only the 2. I thought he did 3. I think I just did the 2. I did best man speeches. Completely off the top of my head without any preparation whatsoever. And I did pretty well in front of a crowd, of people, some of my brother's wedding, a lot of which I knew. And at my friend Scott's wedding, very few people I knew. Our friends that came down to Pennsylvania from Buffalo, and then like Scott's immediate family and obviously his wife, Saya. But that was about it. Everybody else was like her family and his family that I'd never met. But I still, I did fine. But the idea of having to do that, sometimes I get a little like, oh, okay, I don't know. But I think that once I get going and I'm off and running, it's like when Kevin Nealon, the first time he went on the Tonight Show with Carson, and he's like, oh, how much time I got? And he's like, however many minutes, and it was like that. He thought that's how much time he had before he was going out. Like, no, that's how much time you have for your set. You're going out right now, and the curtain opens. He walks out, and the applause break. There's the pause break as he comes out to the mic, and he goes, and my mind went blank. I forgot everything. I didn't remember how it started. I didn't remember what I was saying, and just as the last clap came back to me, and I went into it. And you don't crush on the Late Show, but he did a good enough job that Johnny called him over.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal. When Johnny calls you over to the couch, that's a huge fucking deal.
That is crazy.
And but I'm out there and everything just gone. And then as soon as that last clap hit, it snapped right back into his head. So I feel like once I get out in there and I just start speaking and I see where I am in the room physically, and then like I do that thing where you kind of separate away from yourself when you're floating above watching you go, man, you're fucked.
Yeah.
It just doing it both times. It was fun. And I liked the challenge of not having anything pre-written. I liked that. Like at Scott's wedding, he had his three groomsmen. We were all like his groomsmen. He didn't have a best man. So actually 4. So between myself and Steve-O, and myself, Steve-O, our friend Tyler, and then Matt Wayne, who is a stand-up comic. Now he's at the time he was, I think he was starting into it. But he is a stand-up in New York. And that was with the four of us. He's like, somebody's got to say something. I'm not going to pick which one. You guys decide. And everyone points to me and I'm like, why the fuck do I got to be the guy to do the thing? And I'm like, dude, no. I said, Steve-O, you're always perfectly unintentionally funny. He's like, what? And I said, and Tyler's like, nope, not public speaking. And then I'm like, Matt, come on, you're a comic. He goes, no. And I'm like, all right. And I just kind of stood up.
No, you're not public speaking.
And so I started, I started into this, I just started talking about them. And, I'd only, known Saya for a little while, but, they make each other super happy, blah, blah, blah. And then I proceeded to innocuously tell the story of how they met, which was through, back when this was still a thing, a punk rock internet chat room where some trolls were attacking Scott about some bullshit, and then Saya jumps in. She's like, hey, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. He took his side, and for whatever that was, and then they just started private messaging each other and kind of fell in love over the internet. This is before internet dating existed, blah, blah, blah. Everybody claps, whatever, the thing's over.
That's
right?
kind of sweet,
I bring it all around together, right? I tie a nice bow on it. That ends, and that was about the end of it, actually, because then all the girls had to say the thing. But then I'm talking to Scott afterwards. I see Scott. I'm about to talk to him, and I say his dad go, hey, Scott, come here real quick. Scott comes over and talks to him. I see something going on. I'm like, uh-oh, what the fuck? Scott comes over to me a little while later. He goes, yeah, so nobody in her family knew that that's how we met.
Well, it's too late now.
Because the family thought that we met at a show. And I'm like, oh, not like over the internet. Which at the time, we're talking 1999.
Oh, it's how long
2000, 2001. How long have they been married for? Paige was a couple years old because Andrew and I drove to Pennsylvania to go to this wedding. And my parents and my brother and sister flew with Paige down to Disney, and we drove back and then flew out the next day to meet them. So she had to be 2 or 3 years old, I think. So it was like 2002 or so maybe. But it's like,
bad.
This is like the internet's still a relatively new thing. That's how they met. So it was really funny that he goes, yeah, they didn't know that's how we met. I was like, oh, well, they do now.
That's kind of funny. It isn't like you meant to fucking do it.
Right. And so I'm like, oh yeah, I got this off the cuff. I nailed a great story about how they met. It was really funny. Ha ha ha. I want to drive down to see her. And then they're like, yeah, you didn't tell us that.
Yeah, right. Well, sorry everybody, but you didn't mean to do it.
I don't remember now. So I think I did say this. So at my brother's wedding, I think I told the story about how when I first met Deb, Gary and her were just friends from the English department at UB, and Gary had a big house party. He and his roommate had a house party, not like a crazy, but it was a little nuts. Mm-hmm. Matt Wayne, the comic, was there. Some other people. It was kind of rowdy, but my sister-in-law was there. She wasn't at the time. My sister-in-law. God damn it, Deb. Deb was there as his friend hanging out. And I'm like, oh, she's really pretty. And I walked up to her and I'm like, you have really nice teeth. which she does. Very straight, white, nice teeth.
Well, that's pretty good.
And she's like, oh, that's funny, whatever. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, I could date this girl. And this is like at my brother's wedding as the best man giving this speech, talking about my first encounter meeting Deb and how I'm like, I think you got the better brother out of the deal. I think you won.
That is so funny.
I think you won. You dodged a bullet with this one. She's laughing.
I don't think I've ever actually met your brother, dude.
No. Maybe not. Were you at January at Snapcase at Ballroom?
No.
Last year? No?
I wasn't that.
Thought I saw you there.
Well, the next time a Huber has a party, I want to go.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm sound like I'm
Mom Huber, Pops Huber, Gary Huber, whatever other Huber. I'm gonna show up to your party.
He's gonna show up.
So yeah.
And with a bow on. It's a big red bow on his head.
Maybe.
That's ridiculous. Why did I even say that? That's so...
I am a gift.
All right. Well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, this has been glorious. This is the first episode of a brand new year, falling on the new goddamn year as it starts. Positive mental attitude at DDPY. David Goggins. Cameron Haynes had 14.7 million likes on his Instagram last year. I just saw that stat online. That's fucking awesome. Those guys are awesome. Check them out. Super.
19,2000.
What?
19,2000. Bring it in. Just me being an idiot.
I was like, what? Because 19 goes into 20 for next year, you mean?
No, 2019.
Oh, you're just saying it backwards?
Yes, I was.
Jesus, Tom.
You know, it's fucking off pot.
All right, everybody. It's been fantastic and wonderful. All of the episodes are available on YouTube. Everyone is up. Of course, 26 of them are just that static shot, but they're available there if you want to check them out. We will be going back to doing video versions, if not live stream versions, in the next week or so. Just with the holiday, we didn't have a chance to get our shit together with gear. But in the future, we will see more of us than you probably care to, but we're going to be there, and hopefully you're there too.
Goodbye.